Hare Krishna, my dear Prabhus, dear Matajis, good morning. Thank you for joining our morning japa session. Again, that is 5:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning, and you can join the whole session or you can join by logging in and logging out anytime in between so you can finish your rounds with us. And maraming salamat dun sa mga nauuna pa sa akin. Inaagahan ko na 5:15 na ako eh. Meron pa rin nauuna sa akin. Next time nilalive ko nga yung Mangala, no? Abutin yung Mangala doon sa 4:30. Tingnan natin kung may mauna pa sa akin ng 4:30. Hello, good morning, hello. Tina, Mother Tina, yes. We're so happy to have you regularly. Tina, Mataji, Levi. Yes, mga regulars natin ngayon. John and Mataji, you know the drill. Carla, Mother Moksha, again. Nauna pa rin sa akin ni Mother Moksha palagi. Noreen, Riza Mataji, Sir J, Oliver, Paolo, Gail, and of course my dear Prabhus, Navadip Chandra and Radhanath Prabhu. Hare Krishna, good morning. So hindi natin papatagalan, please join us as we put ourselves in the humble position in the mood of request by reciting the invocation mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Narom Chaiva Narotamam Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Nashta Priyashu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttamas Loke Bhaktir Vavati Naishtiki. Offer my obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Personality of Godhead, Narayan, and unto Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Shri Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance in the classes on the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that's troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So ating nakaraan, we discussed yung napaka-exing summary ng Mahabharat. Kasi naalala ni Arjuna yung mga nangyari sa kanila together with Krishna. And ilang beses na niligtas ni Krishna in different pastimes. Ilang beses si Krishna mismo yung nag-arrange para mamatay yung mga kalaban ni Krishna. And ilang beses din niligtas ni Krishna yung mga Pandavas to be saved from the wrath ng mga demoniac na mga Kauravas, ng mga demons themselves, saka in the war. So now, from the lamentation ni Arjuna, he is actually remembering yung mga intimate moments niya kasi he is actually feeling void. Parang empty yung heart niya. So let's continue reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, Creation, chapter 15. The Pandavas, her entire family. We are at text number 18. So, si Arjuna is reminiscing yung mga memories niya with Krishna. O king, his jokings and frank talks were pleasing and beautifully decorated with smiles. His addresses unto me as O son of Partha, O friend, O son of Kuru dynasty, and all such heartiness are now remembered by me, and thus I am overwhelmed. And this is one of the devotional service that we could do, the remembrance. Even those who are practicing yoga asanas, the mysticism, even if they perfected it, they will wish and pray for the remembrance of Krishna. Even Dhruva Maharaj, even Shiva, when they had a darshan of Krishna, they prayed na sana hindi ko makalimutan to. Sana ma-maintain ko tong memory na to. Of course, remembrance kay Krishna. And Arjuna is experiencing all this. Imagine kung gaano sila ka-close, ha? Talagang dugot pawis, hirap, and all. Pinagdaanan nila dalawa ni Krishna. And he is trying to remember this. Text number 19, let's continue. Generally, both of us used to live together and sleep, sit, and loiter together. And at the time of advertising oneself for acts of chivalry, sometimes if there were any irregularity, I used to reproach him by saying, "My friend, you are very truthful." Even in those hours when his value was minimized, he, being the Supreme Soul, used to tolerate all those utterings of mine, excusing me exactly as a true friend excuses his true friend, or a father excuses his son. Yes. Actually, last night I was talking to one student, and we were talking about friendship. And we know, hindi tayo perfect. And yung mga friends natin may kanya-kanya, tayo may kanya-kanya tayong flaws. And that's the beauty of friendship, eh. Or yung intimate relationship like father and son, or true friend to a true friend. Mahal mo yung tao kung sino siya. Hindi dahil perfect siya. Kasama yung flaws. And even Krishna, na-appreciate ni Arjuna yung pagiging true friend ni Krishna sa kanya. And that's how tight. Ganong kagrabe yung relationship. And of course, that's one of the 5 rasa na meron tayo with Krishna. And of course, Arjuna is having that. Yung intimate friendship kay Krishna. Text number 20. O Emperor, this is Arjuna still talking to you this time. O Emperor, now I am separated from my friend and dearmost well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore my heart appears to be void of everything. In his absence, I have been defeated by a number of infidel coward men, while I was guarding the bodies of all the wives of Krishna. So this is a long story, pero sobrang compact lang dito kasi I believe he discuss pa to further in the succeeding sessions natin. Si Arjuna, heartbroken siya because of his separation kay Krishna. He's actually feeling void. Sabi niya, I don't know, pero sabi nung iba na mas masakit yung pagkakaroon ng pagka-break ng heart ng isang tao from the friends kapag may separation sa friends rather than the lover. Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko mako-compare. Kayo makapagsabi niyan. Pero that's one thing. Siguro kasi ilang beses ka pwede ma-heartbroken sa friends kasi pwedeng madami friends mo. Or, I don't know. That's what they said. And this time, sinabi dito in the second line, actually, sinundo kasi ni Arjuna yung mga wives ni Krishna. Ang dami nun, di ba? 16,108. And they were actually kidnapped by mga infidel coward men. Mga dacoits lang. Yun mga normal lang. Previously, diniscuss natin kung gano'ng kalakas si Arjuna. Kanalaban niya yung mga demigods, demons, yung mga great personality, sabay-sabay, siya lang mag-isa. Diba? In a war, yung mga Kauravas, he defeated them. Even him being a eunuch, dinefeat niya lahat yon. Tapos ito, normal na mga dacoits lang, hindi niya matalo. It is just him taking the reality na without Krishna, there is no prowess to him. Walang strength. And which is totoo, if wala si Krishna sa atin, what do we have? Lahat to borrowed lang. The talents, the skills, yung mga strength natin, lahat galing kay Krishna yon. One could not be proud na galing sa kanya, no? Everything is coming from Krishna. So tuloy natin, text number 21. I have the very same Gandiva bow the same arrows, the same chariot drawn by the same horses, and I used them as the same Arjuna to whom all the kings offered their due respects. But in the absence of Lord Krishna, all of them, at a moment's notice, have been null and void. It is exactly like offering clarified batter on ashes, accumulating money with a magic wand, or sowing seed on barren land. So it just shows how useless he is, sabi nga ni Arjuna. Same naman yung ginamit niya eh. Same chariot, same horses, same Gandiva bow. Lahat ng demigods, mga mangha dito. Nagpapaulan sila ng mga petals kapag lumalaban na siya, pinapanood siya. Pero ngayon, wala. Void, null. And in that separation, he compared na nag-offer na clarified butter sa ashes. Wala nang fire. Sa mga fire sacrifice, that's how they do it. Panoorin yung sinabi ni Chandra pag gumagawa siya ng mga Agnihotra, mga fire sacrifice na yun. They offered the clarified butter, the ghee, to the fire. Pero sa ashes na lang siya. Parang baliwala na. So let's read text 22 to 23. O King, since you have asked me about our friends and relatives in the city of Dwarka, I will inform you that all of them were cursed by the Brahmanas, and as a result, they all become intoxicated with wine made of putrefied rice and fought among themselves with sticks, not even recognizing one another. Now, all but 4 or 5 of them are dead and gone. What a curse! What a curse from the clan of Krishna. It just means, actually, it will be explained. It just means na si Krishna bumaba dito sa material world together with the um, associates niya in the spiritual world as well as yung mga demigods. Pumunta rito. Pero hindi sila basta-basta mag-exit lang. Kailangan grabe yung drama. Kailangan grabe yung mangyayari. Even yung disappearance ni Krishna, hindi natin i-discuss dito kasi binitin ni sa Srimad Bhagavatam, binitin na ni Sutta Goswami kung paano yung details doon. Even dito, yung mga details dito, hindi basta-basta ni-reveal kagad in that conversation. Pero, hindi siya biro lang na, okay, alis na kami, bye-bye. Hindi ganon. Ang daming pangyayari dito. And, one thing lang yung mga sticks na sinabi dito, as they were intoxicated, they're actually pulling out mga bamboos, tas nagiging metal rod yon, tapos naghahampasan sila. They're forgetting na magkakamag-anak sila and all. That is their dramatic exit. They have to go back sa mga original position nila. And of course, we will learn much more about the succeeding verse. Bakit nga ba ganito rin yung title nung session natin today? From our very dear Navadip Chandra Prabhu.
Okay. Hare Krishna, good morning everyone. Take 2. So, makita natin lahat sinabi ni Arjuna yung mga nung wala na si Krishna, yung mga great memories niya. And parang napaka bigat. Kasi actually doon talaga natin malalaman yung yung value ng tao kapag wala na sa atin. So, kaya makikita nyo bakit parang yung mga dead people ay mas marami silang nakukuhang flowers kesa sa mga buhay. Kasi mas matindi talaga yung regret. Na ngayon, kung alam na natin yun, pwede nating ibahin yung sitwasyon na habang buhay is pwede nating i-practice yung gratitude, yung appreciation, Yung ano, lahat ng pwede nating maibigay doon sa tao para ma-please yung yung beloved natin. And especially kay Krishna. Hindi yung magsisisi tayo sa huli. Eh, kailan nga na ba nauna yung ano, pagsisisi, 'di ba? Laging nasa huli. Pero ngayon, may ano na hindi tayo may chance na hindi tayo magsisi, na we become satisfied while we are living, and we're looking for happiness, and we're giving happiness also to the people around us, and we're giving kumbaga parang piniplease natin si Krishna kasi hiram nga lang daw natin tong buhay na to eh. So pero makikita natin dun lang sa previous pa rin na lahat to nanggaling tayo dito eh, yung kay Arjuna na we have everything, I did this, I did that, yung achievement na ano, naging famous and all, pero parang pag wala na yung beloved mo, or pag nawala na yung yung purpose o ano yung dapat na meaning ng mga achievement na yon, ganun yung nangyari kay Arjuna na wala na. Anong then what? So ganun si Krishna, parang ngayon pinupull out niya gently yung carpet. Face down tayo sa nose natin na gigisingin tayo na ito talaga yung life is ups and down. We're getting smashed, we're getting famous. Nakikita mo yung mga ano ng fairy tale, laging lumilipad, sky, high sky na talagang even mga superhero talagang, I'm the one. Ako ang sagot ng lahat. So, I'm the sa ano to, kumbaga ako yung sugo. Pero no, we are not. It's Krishna. And eto na 'yon na si Arjuna, nire-recognize niya 'yon na hindi siya basta nadi-discourage, wala na si Krishna, or anong gagawin ko ngayon, maglalament or what. So nire-recognize niya lahat ng supremacy ni Krishna and arrangement ni Krishna. Sabi niya dito sa text 24, factually, this is all due to the supreme will of the Lord, the personality of Godhead. Sometimes people kill one another, and at other times they protect one another. So yun, lahat ngayon, kumbaga parang, napaka-cruel naman ni Krishna, in-arrange siya na magpatayan yung ano. No, it's due to our desire also. Merong iba na gustong maging sinful. So, eto naman, kailangan ng mamatay. Then, pagtatagpuin niya yon. So, due to our desires also and arrangement ni Krishna na mangyayari yon. So, lahat na fulfill. So, and then, pero si Arjuna is sobrang surrender siya. Hindi niya sinisisi na, or hindi niya kine-question si Krishna kasi ganun nga siya ka-devotee. We're hoping in some way or at the point of our life, ganun din yung faith natin kay Krishna. And yun nga, ito yung lahat ng ano niya, yung direction niya. So actually, makikita nga natin is ganun na nga na unstoppable tong material nature. We become broken, merong mga nawalan ng trabaho, nawalan ng money, accident. Kumbaga sinakluban ng langit at lupa si Arjuna yung pinapakita dito eh. And then kumbaga meron nga is leader ng government is nakot siya ng na ginagamit yung travel money on his own, yung para sa sarili niya. So yung fame niya and all, pangalan, na ano na, parang nung nahuli siya is wala yung kumbaga sobrang kahiyan niya is ano, ang anong result is parang suicide attempt. Pero si Arjuna hindi yung parang wala nang worth yung living for. Nothing worth my life living for. Pero si Arjuna hindi basta ganun lang. Alam niya yung gagawin niya kaya tinuturuan niya tayo ngayon. So sa next is sabi niya, ang pinapakita dito is yung dalawang level ni parang tinuturuan tayo ng dalawang level ni Arjuna, yung na ano siya, na depressed and all, devastated, ganun din sa Bhagavad Gita. Pero ano yung gagawin natin next? Sabi nga ganun. Isa pa. Sabi nga, O King, text 25 and 26. O King, as in the ocean, the bigger and stronger aquatics swallow up the smaller and the weaker ones, and also the supreme personality of Godhead, to lighten the burden of the earth, has engaged the stronger Yadu to kill the weaker, and the bigger Yadu to kill the smaller. So, ito nga yung sabi nga ni Prabhupada dito is, in the material world, the struggle for existence and survival of the fittest are lost because in the material world, there is disparity between conditioned soul and conditioned soul due to everyone's desire to lord it over material resources. So yun lang naman talaga yung struggle dito na kumbaga gusto talaga natin maging lord ng small world natin, na tayo masusunod, tayo yung center. Kaya nga talagang we are very fan of this mobile phone because lahat ng pindutin natin, lahat ng command natin is nangyayari, nasusunod. Yun yung yung controlling propensities, yung we enjoy that controlling propensities. We are small God on our own small world. So, pero yun nga, tinutulungan tayo dito ni Arjuna. Although, kumbaga, sabi nga, alam naman niya na to So, pero tinutulungan tayo dito ni Arjuna na how to deal with our vacancies of life. He is dito complete separation kay Krishna, pero yung separation niya is completely spiritual. Bakit? Kasi nga ang sabi niya sa next 27 is, now I am attracted to those instruction imparted to me by the personality of Godhead Govinda, because they are impregnated with instruction for relieving the burning heart of all circumstances of time and space. Diba? Alam niya yung gagawin niya, alam niya pa rin na attracted siya. Ngayon, kung wala na yung taong yon, yung mga glories niya, okay, nasabi ko, nabanggit niya na, then anong gagawin ko para magtuloy-tuloy ako? So, meron siyang mga naiwan na instructions niya. So, yun. Actually, dito sa purport ni Prabhupada, mahaba to. Halos sinamarize niya yung ni Prabhupada yung Bhagavad Gita actually. So, 3 pages. So, isang bakit sinamarize din dito, makikita natin, actually, backstory, yung first and second canto is, sabi is, nandoon yung essence lahat ng Bhagavatam. Kasi inuna niya na ni Prabhupada na is lahat ng essence nilagay niya na doon kasi iniisip niya baka hindi siya abutan, hindi niya maabutan yung 12 canto or ano. Kaya nung dumating siya sa West, meron na siyang first and second canto, naka-ano na yon, naka-condense na yon. And then ngayong may time pa kasi may edad na nga rin siya nung pumunta siya sa West eh. So, ayun, nilagay niya na lahat sa atin para sa first and second para ma-benefit tayo. So, isa din dito, nilagay din na dito yung ano, yung Bhagavad Gita na yung summarize nga. Basahin natin. Some of the purport of Prabhupada in this text 27. The Bhagavad Gita is being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is the essence of all Vedic wisdom. It is nicely presented by the Lord Himself for all who have very little time to go through the vast Vedic literatures like Upanishad, Puranas, and Vedanta Sutras. Meaning, ito yung if you want go-to answer, anong purpose ng life, anong ginagawa natin dito, ano bang dapat natin gawin, Bhagavad Gita is the go-to answer. Meron ka ng summary of the whole manual of life. And then sabi nga, isa pa dito, Arjuna again to remember the great teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, just to teach all concerned that the Bhagavad Gita can be consulted in a critical times, not only for the solace from all kinds of mental agonies, but also for the way out of great entanglements which may embarrass one in some critical hour. So yun, kumbaga kahit may in the midst of problem, pwede natin i-consult yung Bhagavad Gita. Kahit wala ka ring problem, pwede mo rin i-consult yung Bhagavad Gita. Sabi nga meron dito, who should read Bhagavad Gita? Yung young, to learn how to live. Marami to eh. Who should, the old one, to know how to die. The ignorant, for wisdom. The learned, for humility. For the rich, para sa compassion. The dreamer, for enhancement. Practical, for counsel. The weak, for strength. Strong, for direction. Humble, exaltation. For troubled, for peace. For doubting, for assurance. Sa mga sinner, for salvation. Seeker, moksha. And human is for guidance. So, lahat ng sitwasyon natin sa buhay, we will approach Bhagavad Gita. Para alam natin mabuhay, and then para alam din natin, ayan, ang galing ni Radhacharan Prabhu. Thank you very much. So yan yon. Yan nga yon, tama. Pinost mo nga pala ng nakaraan yan. So, ayan, di ba? Doubting. We are doubtful, bibigyan na tayo ng assurance. Sabi nga assurance baka mo. Unahin na natin assurance, sabi dito. Krishna makes promise to one who is striving to serve him sincerely, that he will give such devotee the intelligence by which he may come to him. Therefore, we should always pray that Krishna may kindly provide me intelligence to kill all demons of doubts. And because he understands the heart of his sincere devotee, immediately he gives assistance. Ano yung assistance na yon? You will send us a spiritual master, a bona fide spiritual master. You will send us a Bhagavad Gita for us to learn. You will send us devotee to take care of us. And he will send us opportunity to perform devotional service for our enhancement of developing of devotional service also, or development of relationship to Krishna, and at the same time purify us. Ano pa bang hanapin natin? Hare Krishna. So, and then sabi nga dito, sa purport ulit ni Prabhupada. Bhagavad Gita or any authentic scriptural sound representation of the Lord is also incarnation of the Lord. There is no difference between the sound representation of the Lord and the Lord Himself. Ito na yun eh. There are times na dami nating pinupuntahan pa na kung ano-anong sagot. Hindi, nagdadasal tayo. Dadasal tayo, God, Krishna, Jesus, pakinggan mo ko, ganyan-ganyan. Pero pag magsasalita na siya, ayaw natin siyang pakinggan, ayaw natin buklatin yung Bhagavad Gita. Sino ba nagsasalita dyan sa Bhagavad Gita? Si Krishna himself. Binibigyan niya tayo ng instruction in the name of Arjuna. Si Arjuna yung representation natin eh. Lahat tayo nanggaling sa sitwasyon ni Arjuna actually. So, pag magsasalita, gusto natin tayo mapapakinggan. Pag si Krishna na magsasalita, ayaw natin. Kumbaga, mahirap. Hindi natin mabuksan yung Bhagavad Gita. So, ano gusto nating sagot? So, ito lang ang isang magandang we consult. Sabi nga daw, ito, tried and tested. Pagka binuksan daw natin yung, may doubt tayo, may problema tayo and all. Pag binuksan natin, pikit mata, binuksan natin Bhagavad Gita randomly. Tapos basahin mo yung text doon. Makikita mo yun yung sagot. Ginawa ko yun before at ginagawa ko pa rin yun. Una, maisipin mo, parang hindi naman yun yung sagot. Parang anong connect. Pero ulit-ulitin mo, oo nga no, tama. Yun nga yung sagot. So, try it. So, another, kasi ang haba ng purport ni Prabhupada nga kasi sinamarize yung Bhagavad Gita. And then, nasa 27 pa rin na purport tayo. Yung mga hinugot ko na purport doon. So, the faithful human being who is desirous of being liberated from the clutches of material existence can very easily take advantage of the Bhagavad Gita. And with this in view, the Lord instruct Arjuna as if Arjuna were in need of it. So yon, tayo na ngayon si representation ni Arjuna na kailangan talaga natin yung instruction na yon. Iga-guide nga daw ni Krishna eh, kung ano yung tanong mo eh. Kung ano tanong natin. Like hindi na tayo lalayo. Siguro Maharaj, as I heard, yung brief story na paano niya na in contact yung Hare Krishna is as I heard, nakakuha daw siya ng Bhagavad Gita from the second-hand bookstore. Ang bakit ko sinasabi to, ang magaling dito is hindi pa siya nakakita ng devotee. Binuksan niya yung Bhagavad Gita, then nakakuha niya yung mga sagot sa kung ano yung mga tanong sa buhay. And then, walang devotee, walang kahit ano, Bhagavad Gita lang kasama niya. For ilang months, naggawa na siya ng sarili niyang beads, sinusunod niya, he lived the life of that Bhagavad Gita and is looking for the dun sa address, calling and all, wala pa rin. Pero ginagawa niya pa rin with full faith. Take note, hindi pa nakamit ng devotee. As in, wala pa. So, ganun kagaling si Guru Maharaj na parang ang hirap nun na libro lang ang ano mo, tapos hindi mo ba alam kung totoo to or what, wala pa nagpapatunay sa'yo. Pero andun agad yung faith. Kasi i-arrange nga tayo ni Krishna eh, na kung sino yung nagsisik talaga ng truth. I-arrange niya. Ngayon, later, nakahanap na siya ng malapit na temple. And then, even yung the moment na hawak niya yung Bhagavad Gita na yun, hanggang ngayon, sinasabuhay niya pa rin. Hare Krishna. So, all glories to Srila Guru Maharaj. And, si Radhanath Swami, nakita niya yung journey home, kung paano yung struggle and all, but seeking of all, nag-seek ng lahat ng sagot. And then, ganun din, nilid din siya ni Krishna through Prabhupada. Ang dami niya napagdaanan, pero nilid siya dun sa right bona fide spiritual master. And yun, become successful. And ngayon, sinasabuhay pa rin. Wag na tayong lumayo. Ang tanong, why you click yung ano sa Facebook ni Radha Charan, kung sino man yung nag-share nun. Why you click? Because we're looking for happiness. We're looking for peacefulness. We're looking for calmness. We're looking for wellness sa sarili natin. And then Krishna arranged the answer. Ito na yon. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, spiritual master, association with devotees, and then we'll be happy. I guarantee you. Hare Krishna. So, what else? Ito na. Dahil sinama rin ni Prabhupada yung Bhagavad Gita. Kumbaga, makikita nga natin naguluhan tayo. Naguluhan si Arjuna. Okay, yung family ko, ano bang laban talaga ng ano bang... Kasi mag-battle na mag-battle. Tapos bago mag-start yung battle, biglang meron pa dalawang tao doon nasa chariot na nagkwentuhan. At naguluhan nga si Arjuna. So pinakita doon na observing the armies of the Battle of Kurukshetra, pinakita doon na ito yung mga kabilang kupunan, ito yung kabila. And then sa chapter 2 sinamarize ni Krishna yung Bhagavad Gita na andulo na yung lahat, andulo na we are not this body, we are spirit soul, ano ba yun? Yun, may limang subject ang Bhagavad Gita. Na main subject is yung about kay Krishna, yung Purusha, about sa living entity is about sa living entity is the jiva, and the nature is prakriti, about the nature, and about the time is kala, and about the process of activity is a karma. So andoon lahat. And then, okay, kung I'm not this body, ano bang dapat kong gawin? So, first, para ma-purify ako, you will do karma yoga, sabi ni Krishna kay Arjuna. Karma yoga, kung ano man yung ginagawa mo, i-connect mo sa akin, then mapupurify ka, magiging spiritualize ka, okay? Or i-offer mo na lang sa akin, ganun. And then, binigyan nga siya ng transcendental knowledge sa chapter 4, na ito yung mga dapat mong malaman. Yan nga, transcendental knowledge. Or, we can say, spiritual knowledge. And then, so chapter 5, sabi niya is, yun nga, kung para maano ka pa rin, magamit mo yung transcendental knowledge, i-apply mo doon. Lahat ng ginagawa mo ngayon, i-equip mo ng transcendental knowledge and i-connect mo lahat sa akin. And then, yun. And then sa chapter 6 is dhyana yoga, is meditation. You meditate, everything na yung ginagawa mo is you offering to me. Or lahat, kahit hindi masyadong connected sa akin, i-connect mo pa rin para hindi ka ma-contaminate or hindi. Kasi anduro na nga yung karma Karma means bondage sa material existence. Para hindi tayo ma-bondage doon, lagi natin kinoconnect sa spirituality or sa spiritual being, kay Krishna, for us to go back to the spiritual world. So, knowledge of the absolute truth. Sa chapter 7, may transcendental knowledge na, tapos may knowledge pa ng absolute truth. Magkaiba yan, Arjuna. Yung transcendental knowledge is ito yung spiritual knowledge. Pero yung knowledge of the absolute truth, yung about pa sa akin, yung further na malalaman mo about sa akin. And for you to attain me, ma-attract ka sa akin Sa chapter 8, attaining the supreme. Okay, paano ko ba attaining the supreme? So, pinakita niya lahat 'yon. And then chapter 9 is most confidential knowledge. So ito na. Ito na yung most confidential knowledge na kailangan mong malaman na hindi ko basta-basta binibigay sa mga kung sino man. Kumbaga, ano to, pwedeng naintindihan mo na pero hindi mo pa rin naintindihan unless may mag-explain sa'yo ng mas malinaw na mas maayos. That's why protected yun, most confidential knowledge. Yung sinasabi dyan is yung hindi enough yung kakilala mo lang at kaibigan mo. So, ganun. So, meaning alam mo lahat din. Parang ganun. And then, okay. Actually nga, yung sa chapter 2, binaba niya yung Gandibabo niya, di ba? So, talagang moros na moros siya. Ngayon, medyo nagkakaroon na siya ng enthusiasm. Paano pa ako lalong mag-hook up sa'yo, Krishna? Paano pa akong maging absorb sa'yo? So, pinakita niya sa chapter 10 yung opulence of the absolute truth. And then, okay, ikaw na nga talaga lahat ng sagot. So, pinakita niya palalo is yung chapter 11 is yung universal form. So, nakakalaman ko na lahat yan, Krishna. Then what? Ano nang gagawin ko? So, chapter 12 is devotional service. Ito yung highlight ng devotional service. Ito yung dapat natin gawin. I-connecta natin lahat. Hindi na lang basta, ay kung anong gagawin ko, i-connect ko. Hindi. Siya na yung purpose ng ginagawa mo, devotional service. Yung service na yun with devotion na. Tapos sabi niya actually, okay, sige, laban na tayo, Krista, okay na. Enthusiastic na ako. Chapter 13, but wait, there's more. Actually, sa chapter 13, dun niya palang pinulot yung gandiba niya. Kasi ano na siya enthusiastic na na ginhawaan na. Pero doon sa chapter 13, doon niya pinulot yung gandiba niya. But wait, there's more. Bago ka, kumbaga parang enthusiasm mo last. So, kailangan alam mo muna yung gagalawan mong mundo. So, kaya meron dyan, may defect pa rin sa atin, ganyan, nature, the enjoyer, and the consciousness. So, kailangan, yung consciousness mo is field or firm. And then, meron pa dyang mga 3 modes of material nature. Kailangan mo ring malaman yan, Arjuna. And then, kung ano yung yoga ng the Supreme, chapter 15. And then, even to us, meron pang kailangang malaman din o gamutin, which is meron tayong divine and demoniac nature, chapter 16. And then, yun nga, chapter 17 is a division of faith. And then, at the end, perfection of renunciation. The rest is, lahat ng nalaman mo kung medyo naguluhan ka, Arjuna, kalimutan mo na. Pinakamadali, just surrender unto me. I will protect you. Do not fear because you are my very dear friend. Hare Krishna. May warranty ka na, may guarantee ka pa. Hare Krishna. So, and then sabi dito sa text 28. Sutta Goswami said, thus being deeply absorbed in thinking of the instruction of the Lord, which were imparted in the great intimacy of friendship, and thinking of his lotus feet, Arjuna's mind become pacified and free from all contamination. That is the result. We are all contaminated with all this material enjoyment and all suffering, doubts, and marami. But when we turn ourselves or we inquire from Krishna, from the spiritual master, ito yun. Arjuna's mind become pacified and free from all material contamination. And makikita natin in a further na kung paano yon, kung paano yung okay, kung na-free ka na sa material contamination, ano nang mangyayari? And ilalathala yon ng ating dear, very dear friend, Radhanath, His Grace Radhanath Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Good morning, everybody. Okay naman tayo, naririnig naman tayo. Yan. Thank you, Navadev Chandra Prabhu, for ikaw yung taya today. Sinasa lang today. Pero maganda explanation and it's really amazing. Nakita mo rin yun. Nagustuhan ko yung sinabi niya about sa urgency na ni Srila Prabhupada na of course, he is thinking na medyo may katandaan na rin si Srila Prabhupada and then baka alam mo yun, hindi niya matapos yung Bhagavatam. So at least pinrepair niya na sa atin kung hindi man oops, something, may glitch, may blip na nangyari. Yeah, okay na. Ayun, so may something. Oh, wala. Okay na. Okay na yan. Sa internet na rin. No? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Pardon me.
Yan, Prabhu, much better na rin yung, yung audio mo. Tapos mas dire-diretso na.
Okay na. Okay. Yun, so sa text number 29, basahin natin. Continue na tayo. Baka ano pong nangyari. Anyway, thank you, Prabhu, for explaining that. It's very wonderful story. We know, Bhagavad Gita, yun nga, gusto ko rin yung sinabi niya na it's always true eh. Kung meron tayong pinagdadaanan sa buhay, at least, if you're a devotee, or even if you're actually not devotee, it applies the same, if not more. Na kapag mayroon tayong certain confusion or meron tayong pinagdadaanan nga, buklatin mo yung Bhagavad Gita, parang kahit saan dyan, talaga makakakuha ng answer. It's very true. So text number 29 in continuation of this chapter 15. Oh yeah, text number 29. Arjuna's constant remembrance of the Lord, of the lotus feet of the Lord, of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, rapidly increased his devotion, and as a result, all the trash. Gusto ko tong word na to eh. Parang hindi siya masyadong, parang it's so pwede naman gumamit na iba pang word, no? Pero trash talaga yung ginamit. Let's see. Nandun ba kaya talaga sa word for word yan? Gusto makita eh. Sweet, constant, great. Anyway, at least a translation, it's there. As a result, all the trash in his thoughts subsided. So basically, anything that has nothing to do with Lord Krishna, if it's not connected, if it somehow cannot be used to describe or to glorify, is trash. It's trashy. It's very true sa nangyayari sa atin ngayon, sa na-experience natin ngayon sa buhay, especially with the surge of these social medias or other platforms. It's very easy to pick up a lot of trash. Even minsan nga kahit di natin sinasadya, pero nakikita mo material world talaga, grabe. So dinidescribe lang dito na anything na parang walang kinalaman kay Krishna, pwede mo siyang i-disregard or you should not pay attention. Just like sa trash. Nobody pays attention in the trash unless you're a garbage collector. It's your dharma. And it's okay. But normally a person doesn't mind or parang hindi niya tingnan natin, alam mo yun, parang casually titignan yung basurahan for anything. It's not a sign of intelligent person. Sabi nga rin parang yung mga bagay na yan, para daw yan, excuse me for the example, pero sabi nga parang if you pass your stool, di ba titignan yung stool, i-flush out, tapos sabihin mo sayang, ganun. So yung mga bagay-bagay na we can say material things, material information, and hindi nakakatulong sa spiritual life, especially sa propagation ng Krishna consciousness or sa development ng Krishna consciousness, we should disregard. And in this example, si Arjuna, by constant remembrance, especially to this time, yung intense na feeling of separation and this remembrance of the Lord, which is nasa matinding tawag yan, mood of separation, increased his devotion only to Lord Krishna. And that is the secret of the devotional life. We should always feel separated from Krishna. Even the great Swamis of Vrindavan or our teachers, the gopis of Vrindavan, that's always their mood. They never think that they have Krishna. They're always seeking, they're always looking for Krishna, they're always longing for Krishna. So sa situation ni Arjuna, nasa siya at this particular point sa Bhagavatam, very intense yung remembrance niya kay Lord. And that, because of that, lahat ng mga trash sa kanyang mind, lahat ng mga unwanted thoughts and desires, it saved him. So we can learn from this story. It's very simple, easy to understand concept that life will always test us. Life will always put us in the situation where we will be pulled out from Krishna. Kasi si Maya nga is very strong sa material world and very much sa buhay ng living entities. He will always try to pull us out from Krishna, away from Krishna. So that's why this reading of Bhagavatam, association with devotees, chanting of the holy names it's very important that we, as much as possible, always do it, because it will save us from unnecessary thoughts. That unnecessary thoughts leads to a lot of unnecessary desires that simply, take away our original position. And that is na-explain nga dun sa summary ng Bhagavatam, the five main topics ng Bhagavatam, the Purusha, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and us, the living entities. Purusha is the served, and us Prakritis are the servants. We are the servants of the Lord. We are parts and parcel of the Lord. Our only business is to serve Him. So, this Maya yun yung bibigyan niya sa atin na idea na master tayo. So, yun yung mga trashy thoughts, trashy situations na dapat nating avoid. And we can do so by regular execution talaga yun. Simple mo na. The regular practice of devotional activities, like hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna like this, association with devotees, so very important, worshiping the deities. So with that, we can be protected from unnecessary thoughts. And that saved Arjuna, actually, sabi dito sa purport. Text number 30. Because of the Lord's pastimes and activities, and because of his absence, it appeared that Arjuna forgot the instructions left by the personality of Godhead. But factually, this was not the case. And again, he became Lord of his senses. So yun yung ginagawa, ayun yung nabubrought. That's what devotional service brings upon for us. We should speak about ourselves, because Arjuna is a different personality, is a exalted personality. But even by this example, parang kasi seemingly parang nakalimutan niya raw yung instructions ni Krishna, and parang seemingly naput siya sa very precarious condition or situation na parang he's parang dumbfounded sa mga nangyari, especially because of Krishna's disappearance. Pero actually hindi. Of course, it's by the will of the Lord na ganun yung mangyari. Pero basically, hindi pwedeng hindi pwedeng malagay sa ganung position si Arjuna, because he is a very dear friend of the Lord. But sometimes, because of the will of the Lord, ginagamit niya example yung mga devotees niya for us to learn. And yun nga, this is not the case. And if one is performing devotional service, our senses will be awakened, especially that sense of our real ego. We are awakened, and this false ego is now, sabi yun may nabasa ako dito na magandang sa purport na parang this naked truth about our real position becomes manifest. Kasi parang I'm pertaining to our false ego na we're so much entrapped. Akala natin we are this body. So, but that becomes manifest by practice of devotional service, and we understand better that now we're not this body, we're spirit soul. Diba? Parang ganun. So this is by practice of Krishna consciousness. This is possible that the senses will be awakened by the process. And that's kung titignan na kasi natin yung senses natin, yung talagang ginagamit na medium, lahat ng senses natin, mapa-vision, mapa-smell, mapa-hearing, lahat ng senses natin is in control of tinatry control ni, or at least we allow Maya to be controlled, our senses to be controlled by Maya. We allow it to happen. But if one is practicing, again, binibigay lang dito na focus is by practice of Krishna consciousness, everything will be under the proper control, not by our false ego, not by our false understanding of who we are. So by any means, practice devotional service because it can save us. Text number 31, translation. Because of his possessing spiritual assets, the doubts of duality were completely cut off. Thus, he was freed from the three modes of material nature and placed in transcendence. There was no longer any chance of his becoming entangled in birth and death, for he was freed from material form. So again, the glories of the process of devotional service, it liberates us. It transcends our consciousness to a higher platform, even though we're still here in the material world. So we can be in this world, but not of this world. The Goswamis who have really perfected the control of their senses, pure devotees of the Lord, have already transcended this material, aspect, this material world, and their only business is to give transcendental knowledge. So by practice of Krishna consciousness, this is again possible that even though we are in the material world, we will be freed. And that natural sa mga tao na they want liberation, they want freedom. Parang against the nangyayari ngayon na war between the Israelis and the Palestinians, diba? They simply want their turf, their freedom, their liberation. And because of this misunderstanding, or we can say this liberation in the material platform, it causes this war. It doesn't bring any good result, because people in general are misguided or doesn't know what's the real meaning of liberation. They think, I just want to be myself. I want to be liberated from someone else's, turf or clutches or control. I want to be free. The problem is they don't know, or most of the time we don't know what real freedom is. Real freedom, as Srila Prabhupada have stated so many times in the scriptures, in the Bhagavad Gita, and we heard it many times. First, you become free from the cycle of birth and death. That's the real freedom. That's the real liberation. And again, we can see in this age, people they sometimes people who are in control, they take advantage of this propaganda. Liberation front this, liberation front that, diba? Ang dami. Let's get out of this control. Why this person is, or why this country is, controlling me. I want my own thing, parang ganun. But in essence, we can also understand that because the spirit souls, our soul, the jiva soul, is actually just always wants to be happy, di ba? Yun yung characteristics ng jiva soul. It's always eternal, blissful, and knowledgeable, di ba? Parang ganun. So this freedom, natural yun sa soul, magkaroon siya ng freedom. Pero yun nga, if it's misunderstood, if it's misused, then trouble can happen. Parang ganun. That's why the scriptures is here. The devotees, pure devotees of the Lord are here to explain to us, for us to be reminded what it really means to become free. And we should not look so far. We should always look, dito lang ang sarili natin. First of all, we free ourselves from so many unwanted desires. We free from our false ego, thinking that we're this body. So, in essence, it's easy, not really easy to say, but very hard to actually practice. But by constant engaging, sabi ni Srila Prabhupada, by practical engagement in devotional service, these things will help one realize it more. It's not enough to just philosophize about it. One should take up a practical devotional service, then it will take effect. These realizations will come. So by all means, again, we practice devotional service. We engage ourselves, no matter how small it is. Just engage in devotional service, and then we will be freed. Sa last, you can say, engagements or parts ng life ni Arjuna in this sa pinag-uusapan natin, simple yung ginawa niya. Remembrance lang of Krishna. Intense remembrance of Krishna. It purified him. It liberated him. It transcended his position. So, yeah, practice of devotional service is given. So many things we can do. So, Radha Chan Prabhu, any last words?
And yes, for us to be able to always remember Krishna, tinanong nga ng mga sages namin sa Ranya, saan tayo take shelter kung di natin inabutan si Krishna? It is true, Krishna's instructions in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much, my dear ones. Please continue to finish your rounds today. Kita-kita tayo. Today actually may class si Ashu. If you wish to attend, please let me know para mapasa natin yung password sa Zoom ID. And also, continue natin yung ating Japa session every 5:30 to 7 o'clock in the morning sa kayo. Ating Srimad Bhagavatam study, the Monk in the Middle podcast, every 7 to 8. Thank you very much, Adam, Tina, Levi, Jonah, Carla, Moksha, Naimi, Pia, Sir J, McCoy, Mother Moksha, Oliver, Paolo, Gail, Jonah, and those who are watching sa ating Facebook Live. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Radhat Prabhu. Navadip Chandra Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Ayos yun